workshop objectives are to what extent the gap between science and policy can be bridged. It is expected that the joint efforts of all relevant stakeholders would lead to the development of research culture of integrated scientific and social communities. This activity of the institution further demonstrates our resolve, capability, and leadership of the University of Kashmir to send a powerful message that we are willing to connect the science with policy. It will also try to identify further networking for exploring the partnership and opportunities for joint initiatives in the form of mentorship, grant writing, policy paper writing, training on reviewership and editorship, besides offering training facility, capacity building, lab facility to underdeveloped institutions and colleges. It is pertinent to mention here that we have 3 research collaborations with the colleges, namely GDC for Women Sopur, GDC Deshpura Kulgam, and GDC Baramulla, and we look forward more such research collaborations. Once again, I warmly welcome you all to the University of Kashmir, and I guess our participants will enjoy our hospitality and intellectual and scientific fodder they will be offered in these 5 days ahead.
Our university is having a very outstanding record so far as the research activities are concerned. Huge number of granted projects are being run in the different departments, in the different domains. We have some islands of excellence so far as the research activities are concerned, in which we have the School of Earth Sciences is there, Botany department is there. We have some of the departments from the biological sciences. They have a huge, outstanding contribution in the research arena, whether it is through the publications or it is through the our awards and the honors. Our faculty has made a tremendous, mark on that front. Having said that, at the same time, there looks as sort of a deficit. This is not only at the university level, so far as the Kashmir University is concerned, but this is almost a national scenario. When we are talking purely about the universities as academic institutions, there is a lot of disconnect between the science, or what you say, the research, and the policy formulation. One important example which I will be quoting, that so far as the science and policy interface is concerned, it can be having many dimensions. Many dimensions in the sense that you can formulate the policies in the various sectors. Those policies will be just regulating, or they will be giving directions or the guidelines so far as the solutions are concerned. And those solutions will be based on the informed information which will be provided by the research community, by the research output. So that is the very essence of the policy formulation. It could be in different areas. And one of the important areas where there could have been a solid contribution from our institution, where we have taken really, let me admit this very frankly, where we have taken a back seat, where we have missed so far as this region is concerned. This is facing a whole gamut of the environmental problems, ecological problems. And I'm sorry to say that as an institution, we have not been able to come up with a policy formulation document, that what should be the guidelines which could guide so far as the environmental policy is concerned. We have the National Environmental Action Plan, particularly on the climate change, which you could find at the UT level, but you cannot find there the presence of any prominent, sectors or the units of the university. We have to explore that why we have been sitting, why we are very inactive so far as this response to these policy formulations is concerned. Why we are not able to just get that type of the vibrancy. It's not that that policy document has put into public domain and the responses have been, demanded or invited from the academic and the scientific community. There is a possibility that some of the colleagues might have contributed in that context. But so far as the active partners in that policy document is concerned, the Kashmir University has taken a back seat, and we are not able to find a very desirable and dignified place so far as the policy document is concerned. And in the similar fashion, we have the policy documents with regard to the agriculture sector. Again, we could not find a prominent place so far as the Kashmir University is concerned. I will be quoting you on the national scene that so far as the second 5-year plan is concerned, which was based on the concept paper of one of the famous statisticians, P.C. Mahalanobis. P.C. Mahalanobis has made a huge contribution in the policy formulation so far as the second 5-year development plan is concerned, where the main trajectory of the second year plan as a policy formulation was the agricultural development so far as the policy formulation at the state level is concerned. We as the active researchers, of course, that we are, we have, I mean to say, good these research outputs, which could be effectively utilized so far as the policy formulation is concerned. Be it the pollution of the water bodies, be it the degradation of various lands, be it the degradation of the various types of the ecosystems, where the Kashmir University could play a very important role so far as the policy formulation is concerned. But till date, that I mean to say, vibrancy is not found so far as the Kashmir University is concerned. We can, I mean to say, formulate a very effective document so far as the management of the water resource are concerned. And in the similar other areas which have direct or indirect, I mean to say, its impacts on the environmental scenarios of the Kashmir Valley. So having said this, that so far as this present workshop is concerned, this deal is one of the important, I mean to say, sensitive areas so far as the wetlands are concerned. And I hope, as has been put forth already by Professor Jilani Saab or our Registrar Saab, that at least we will be able to just furnish or provide or prepare some brief policy document about these wetlands so far as this 5 years workshop is concerned. And we hope that the same could be provided to the concerned these stakeholders, especially the administrators and the people who are sitting at the policy formulation.
The science policy is a very important document that we are supposed to look, or that we are supposed to read, or that we are supposed to propose, or that we are supposed to prepare. If we see the tasks of any good university, it's not only the teaching, it's not only the research at your own level, it is what you contribute to the society. I think the main difference between the universities like the University of Kashmir and the universities across the world, which are very top level universities, is that they really contribute to the society in reference to many four fronts, whether it is economy, whether it is the societal challenges, whether it is the other challenges at the local level. Things are changing with the passage of time. We have the national education policy now. We are well aware about that policy. The societal challenges need to be into consideration for all the times to come. For example, if there is a student of physics and he wants to pursue his career in history of science. Earlier, we used to be very complex about those things, that what to do with the history of the science. But now perhaps the main aim of that national education policy is to have a broader outlook of our role that the world at large is doing, and particularly the universities which are at the top 500 universities across the world. Recently I was looking on one of the documents. You will be very surprised. In China, there is one top university, and they have started one of the course, BSc in marriage science. BSc in marriage science. I think it may be very right for them, because they are trying to understand the societal challenge regarding this marriage. So now you can think, you can just compare that. We need to work very hard. Marriage science will be a very bigger domain. It will be a very bigger subject. What are the challenges, what are the prospects, what are the future, what is future, how to do it, how to have its impact on the society. So people take it as a challenge. So that is a challenge in the society. Similarly, someone is working for the how I can reduce the pollution, how I can provide. We have a lot of research scholars, very good service being done at in our different departments, particularly in the CORD and even particularly in the environment, because this department is related to the environment. So I am sure that whatever the research is being done here, it carries a lot of weightage regarding the environment. The solution is to the environment, how to reduce the pollution, how to look at the environmental challenges and various factors. So I am sure that those things will be discussed in detail for these, and there will be definitely the technical sessions. So I would request the coordinator of the workshop, Dr. Samiullah Saab, to prepare a booklet and have that booklet in such a way so that it should go to the government. Then and then we can say that we have done something. Otherwise, conducting workshops is a usual procedure. So, but we should do something which will help not only to the government but to a common person. We are in a process right now. We have one of the projects from central government where we are transferring some very, very technical terms of the electronics, of the botany, it's coming up, of other subjects into the Kashmiri language. The electronics department has already done it. To transfer, to have the translation of some very technical terms into the Kashmiri language, so that what is the aim? The aim is that as an ordinary Kashmiri, one should go through that.
Kashmir University has a long history of working on the science policy front. I will give you one example because I don't want to already, we have taken a lot of time. So I would say one example. I think two years before or 3 years before, there was government of Jammu and Kashmir they were trying to shift the houseboats to the doldrum area, means towards the Nishat side. They wanted to just shift. Department of Environmental Science was given the task that whether this is okay or not. So then I was also one of the I have also attended that, I was one of the stakeholder meeting was there, so I was also invited. So I shared my results because I have what Professor Nasir Saab was saying, that's why it came to my mind. Nasir Saab was saying that this is dull, what we have given to it if there's something concrete. So what we have done, I shared some results with the committee, with the members at that time. I told them that more than 40% of water in the Nishat side is coming from groundwater. So if 100%, 60% is from the main canal, 40% is from the northeast, that side, means from the Shalimar and Nishat garden side. So most of the springs or base flow, if you technically treat it, that is towards that side. So if you shift the houseboats to that doldrum area, so you will contaminate whole Dal Lake. So please don't do that. These are my results. These are published. You can see those are published results. So maximum groundwater contribution is from that side. If you will see that the lake towards that side is also very clean. The reason is because of the groundwater. So they have not, after that, those houseboats were not shifted. So this is what the interface between academia and the government. So the same way there are so many, I just shared one example with you. There are so many.
I am deeply honored to address you today at this 5-day workshop on the Science Policy Interface, jointly organized by the Department of Environmental Science, University of Kashmir, and GDC Diaspora Kulgam. At the outset, I extend my gratitude to the University of Kashmir, particularly the Department of Environmental Science, for providing us with this platform to collaborate under the Scientific Social Responsibility initiative of the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, funded research project on high altitude lakes in the Kashmir Himalaya, jointly led by Dr. Aftab Ahmed Bhatt and Dr. Samiullah Bhatt. It is heartening to witness the University of Kashmir fostering partnerships with faculty from various colleges within the higher education department, as this workshop exemplifies such collaboration. Science policy interface initiatives are essentially for bridging the gap between scientific research and policy formulation. This workshop aims to create a structured framework for scientists to evaluate evidence and present recommendations to policy makers on specific issues. These initiatives enhance knowledge sharing, foster information exchange, and encourage participation from all stakeholders, promoting ownership and inclusivity. In alignment with the scientific social responsibility framework outlined by NRF DST, this workshop will bring together scientists, policymakers, and stakeholders to enrich decision-making process. The science policy interface is a vital mechanism that connects science with policy. Science provides evidence-based insights to inform decisions, while policymakers guide researchers towards addressing practical needs. Despite the importance of this relationship, scientific findings often fail to influence policy decisions. This gap underscores the critical role of the science policy interface in fostering collaboration and integrating scientific knowledge into policy making. By serving as a bridge, the SPI ensures that policymakers access evidence-based insights while scientists are informed about the real-world constraints of policy making.